Howdy y'all, my name is Dennis DeLay. I'm better known as Reverend Muddy. Welcome to Vanderbilly. This is a little beginner blues thing, and for all you guys that are seasoned pros, just don't worry about it. This is for people who may need to learn this, and it's just the simple stuff, okay? I call it Blues 101. Anyway, what we're going to do here is we're going to start off on the 5th fret right here. Okay? That's where our A, it's A right here. Okay? And if you go out, just imagine this is a box. This 5th fret, 6, 7, and A. But mostly right here, just in this, okay? The pentatonic, what they call the pentatonic blues scale, is like this. There's a variation of that, and most, like when I play stuff like that. Okay, and all that, if you break it down, it's basically just the same thing as, it comes from the same place. So let's take a look at this, okay? If you start on the 5th fret with your ring finger on the E string, right there, and then go back to the C position, right here, 3rd fret, 2nd string, or 5th string, your A string. That's the basic pattern where all that stuff came from. The only deviation or difference from that was the major third that I threw in there, which is right here. That's D flat, or the 6th fret G string, okay? And you're going to find that a whole lot of your blues stuff comes from it. And that's what makes the chord major or minor. Okay, so what is this blues thing, this big secret about where all this stuff comes from? Well, I'll tell you, if you go out 3 frets from the 5th fret on the little bitty E string right here and start out going, and then you do the same thing on G string, but you slur from the 8th. 5, 6, 7, 8, slur to the 7th fret, back, and then I just slide backwards. Okay? That's your basic blues scale. Now, the regular music scale is, there's only 8 notes, and the 1st and the 8th note are the same. So that's where all this, they go, well, they go start it in the 5th, or take it from the 1, or go to the 4. And I never used to understand what all that meant, but it's really simple. Those numbers come from the numbers of the scale, which is do, re, mi, fa, sol, la, ti, do. It's also 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. And they're like this. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. And that's where you get all these A 7th, A, B 6th, and that's where those numbers come from. It's important to know that because the blues is basically made up of 1, 4, 5. And I'll go into that at another time. But I want to show you the scale and how it works, okay? It's like your major third. The most important thing I learned about it was this triad. A triad means three, and three notes. You have, that makes a little chord. Major third, fifth, and first. And it sounds like this. So you get all kinds of lead guitar riffs off that, like. It's very important, okay? So the first thing that I learned how to do was this little ditty right here. You start on the 5th fret with your index finger and you hammer down on the G string and go. Okay, then you lay down your index finger across the B and the E string and go. So that gives you your first 4 notes. I'll do that again and try this. Now if you'll notice, I lift my index finger up and move it over to cover these 2 strings. And then I usually will, this part of this riff is you go. That's your minor 7th right there. To the 5th. Then you slur that drop 5th right here again. So you go. Again, right there on the A string on the 4th fret. Same note as this. Okay? So, you have this little riff here. Now, I chose to end it on a major. You could do it on a minor too, or just relative. That's the A note again, okay? But this is where a whole bunch of your lead guitar licks come from. And that's what happens. You get adept at it if you just keep doing it forever and ever, okay? And the other way is do your little, this is a little key to the highway lick that I call key to the highway. You bend your G string up to the 5th, which is this. That's the same note. It's your E note. That's your 5 in the A scale. Okay, so you go. You hold, you bend this up, and then you move your index finger. So it covers these 2 again, just like we did before. So you go. And you don't take a long time doing this. You stab this and get it on. A lot of people make the mistake of going. Don't. Just play it real, relatively quick. Okay, then you do a little pull off on your B string right here. From the 8th fret to the 5th fret. You go. So it sounds like this after you get good at it. You see what I mean? And that's kind of like call and response. That's the call. And then the response can be whatever you want it to be. Like. Okay? That's where you just take this 8th fret and slide it up to 10 right here. That's your A note. So, now if you practice that, you can get real good at it real quick. The other thing is that you can go. Play off that same pentatonic scale. I always slide down off the 5, One of the best ways to illustrate that